Hello, welcome back to our Take Up Commentary. So today we're gonna do Denis Coulson, the Scooby-Doo Predator. So, it's been a while. It's definitely been a hot minute. I have kind of just been perpetually sick for like the last week or two. And unironically, I don't feel that great right now either, but I'm here, right? I'm here. I feel like I need somebody to laugh at it. And it's somebody short. I have something to do in like a little bit. You know, I just came over, had a little bit of time, not very much. But you know, we're here watching Denis Coulson, right? It's been almost 2 years since I've seen him, so you know, hey, it's time for a rewatch. And I don't really feel like learning somebody new. You know, I saw him in my recommended, and I was like, yeah, you know what, we'll do this guy. But anyway, if you like to catch Predator, check out the channel. I have a lot of videos, including TCAP commentaries, police interrogations, and true crime videos on a different channel. But anyway, yeah, let's just get started.
Georgia was unique, not only because of the location. We were kind of out in a rural area, but also because on the law enforcement side of the investigation, you had a task force. It was kind of the first time we saw local and federal law enforcement working together. Update on Scooby.
Oh crap, man! You know, Chris Hansen is going on a rant on how, like, you know, this thing was very professional, right? And then they cut to Frag. Sorry, I don't know what I've contracted, right? I probably contracted a new disease, right? But anyway, Frag, you know, here he is yapping again, you know, in his little radio. You know, he could have just been holding this thing, but he's like, oh, I have to attach it to my shirt, right? What if he's like in the middle of like taking a dookie or like taking a pee, and he doesn't have his microphone with him, and like it'll be disastrous. You know, the whole operation rests on the shoulders of Frag, right? Without Frag, this wouldn't be, right? I mean, beyond all the jokes, like, he is a core member of Perverted Justice, by the sounds of it, or at least TCAP in general.
Together.
Update on Scooby. He's at exit 25 on I-185. So this is Scooby-Doo coming for Ivy. Definitely the black wig.
Black wig.
Emily is back for our Georgia investigation.
Emily,
a college student who looks a lot younger than she is. She has now got experience.
You know, I never like tackled the idea of like the decoys looking young. Like, yes, Emily does look really young if you think about it. Like, for a college student, she does look extremely young, and honestly, I'm surprised if that makes any sense.
Who looks a lot younger than she is. She has now got experience that she didn't have before, and she's become very skilled at being our on-site decoy.
Alright guys, I'm ready to go.
Emily is, by the way, just for the record, right? I probably said it a couple of times before, but Emily definitely is my favorite decoy, for sure.
This is what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
Here's the big picture, Scoop.
Alright.
You look like that.
Oh
my god.
Yeah.
The dog.
Well.
Yeah, this is also a decoy dog, right? They hired somebody too to decoy the dog, right? There's actually 2 actors here. Or this is just like a hand puppet or something. I don't know. But this for sure is not a real dog.
Is my mic on?
Oh, crap. Oh, you know, I've been pausing back and forth, right? I know there's a lot of pauses, right?
Looks like.
Oh, okay.
There's the big picture, Scoop.
Alright.
You look like that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It'll work well.
Is my mic on?
Anyway, you know, let me just get this out the way, right? Ron Knight, the greatest man to exist in the history of humanity, you know, and beyond. We all know, you know, Ron Knight is not from this world, so he pales in the moonlight, right? Compared to how long Ron Knight has been around. You know, I don't know if I've said this before, but like, Ron Knight wasn't like invited to do these sting operations. Like, he just showed up one day and he was just like, you know what, Chris Hansen, I gotcha. I'll kill these guys, right? If need be. You know, he just volunteered from his own, you know, cosmic belief, right? That this has to happen. But anyway, I like how she's asking these two, like, how the hell is Chris, or mainly Ron Knight, supposed to know about technology? You know, Chris Hansen was born in like 1950.
Is my mic on? It's red. I don't know if that means low battery or what.
I think red means on.
I think red means on.
Check 1, 2.
Yes, Frag?
Yes, Frag.
I think red means on.
Red means on.
Check 1, 2.
Yes, Frag?
Here we go.
Yes, Frag.
Emily, get ready.
Yes, Frag.
You know, something I gotta point out is they printed out a whole picture of him for the chat logs. I mean, it's obviously for Chris Hansen to know that, like, he's talking to the right person. But look at all the ink being wasted, you know? Could he just not get, like, a clear from Frag or something? Did Chris Hansen have a earpiece as well? I doubt it, because why would he have one? You know, he just goes in and he, like, you know, caps on the Predators, and that's kind of his whole thing. So maybe, I don't know, but I guess.
Here we go.
Yes, Frag.
Emily, get ready. Slow. Spin the camera. Turn around. Oh, that was him, wasn't it?
When you get into a rural area, obviously the challenge is, in many cases, the potential predator actually finding the house.
There he is.
He's here.
Yay. All right, Emmy, he's coming in.
Awesome. I'm ready.
I have my basket.
He's getting out of the car.
Thanks, Chris, for telling me. Denis Coulson, 23 years old, also known as Scooby Doo at 101. Used the wrong at there, right? He just spelled it out.
He's getting out of the car.
He's getting out of the car.
Yeah, he's walking up the. Yeah, you can open the door.
Hey. Took you a while to get here.
Yeah, well, it's only taking good directions to where they live.
I was taking.
You could convince me I'm dying, but honestly, anyway, Denis Coulson, could you imagine, like, that's one of the last things I do is record a fucking video, man. That'd be such a sad life. But anyway, I mean, I love doing this, so you know what, I would die doing what I love, right? But anyway, I do know that Denis Coulson does kind of poke fun / insult the decoy for being like, hey, by the way, you kind of suck at directions, you know, like, he just kind of, you know, does that. It's hard for me to hear because I don't have my usual headphones on. Honestly, this is like a spur of the moment type of thing. I have my AirPods on my like headset to listen in. I only have one in just so I can know what they're saying, but it's hard to decipher.
Yeah, well, it's only taking good directions to where they live.
I was taking stuff out of the dryer.
Something along the lines of like, oh, if somebody gave good directions.
Taking stuff out of the dryer. It'll take a second. It'll take a second. I made you some sweet tea.
Oh,
I
really?
have to do something to keep you awake. You can take a seat. I just gotta finish taking the stuff out.
Oh, look at Raw Knife, and he's like, he's plotting, right? He's plotting. He's like, oh, this guy better not turn into, he better not turn into this room because I'll like unleash my like 20 knives that he has from like his bag. Like he's kind of like Venom and stuff. Like they just like poke out of like his bag and just start stabbing. You know, Denis Coulson could have died. He doesn't know that Denis Coulson could have, you know, as far as I know, died in this house because Ron Knight would have had to step in. You know.
I like your roster sheets.
I like your roster sheets.
Say what?
I like your roster sheets.
I got roster sheets in my house.
Coulson.
Very charming guy, you know. I do gotta say, like, you know, you enter a girl's house for the first time, and the first thing you should do is compliment the sheets, man. Not like, oh, you look great today or something. Like, maybe I'm just old-fashioned, right? Maybe, but I say that as this was recorded maybe like 2 decades ago, but you know, back in the day, we used to, back in the day, you know, like I'm old as hell, 23, you know, we used to compliment ladies, you know. We would also put down our coats, you know, over puddles for women to walk across, you know. That's kind of how we used to operate back in 2015, right? Like, that was a long time ago. You know, that's just how we used to operate back in the day, right? You know, it's just, the kids these days, they don't know about that coat raise, you know.
I like your roster sheets.
Say what?
I like your roster sheets. I got roster sheets in my house.
Coulson, or Scooby-Doo, walks in and is very comfortable as he comes into the house, even talking about how goofed up her directions were. You know, if somebody could give better directions, I'd have been here sooner.
Oh, yeah.
And he jokes, and you know, then I come out.
And it's not so funny.
The situation's not so funny anymore. Did you have a hard time finding the place?
Sit
or?
down.
Why don't you have a seat right over there? I'm good.
He goes, who are you?
You have a hard time finding the place, or? Yeah, man. Why don't you have a seat right over there? I'm good, thank you.
The decoy just transformed into like a 50-year-old man, you know? I'm pretty sure Chris was like...
You got lost, huh?
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah. Well, who are you?
I'm Dennis.
Dennis, why don't you have a seat? Dennis, do me a favor.
What's going on?
What made you get in a car on a Saturday night this late and drive an hour and a half to come to this house?
I don't know, I was just bored and wanted to hang out.
Just bored?
Yeah, that's it.
Bored and wanted to hang out?
Yes, sir.
So how did you meet this girl?
On the internet.
On the internet?
Yeah.
And what did you guys talk about?
Just a lot of different...
Maybe at this point it was starting to settle in for Dennis or Scooby-Doo that he's in big trouble, because at this point he looks like a lot more irritated than concerned. Like right here, he definitely looks a lot more like, oh, who are you? Who are you? But I think the moment he starts asking questions, he like puts on this face of like, oh, you know, I'm definitely in trouble. Oh, you know, this is a major inconvenience for me. Like, Chris, why didn't you let me sleep with a 13-year-old, right? Like, that's kind of what his attitude is at this point, because he probably realized that he's caught. You know, I mean, obviously, a grown-ass man was not part of the equation when he showed up. You know.
What made you get in a car on a Saturday night this late and drive an hour and a half to come to this house?
I don't know, I was just bored and wanted to hang out.
Just bored?
Yeah, that's it.
Bored and wanted to hang out.
Yes, sir.
So how did you meet this girl?
On the internet.
On the internet. And what did you guys talk about?
Just a lot of different things that I shouldn't have been talking about.
Give me an example.
Ask her if she's a virgin.
And why would you ask that question of a 15-year-old girl?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I really did not have any plans to do anything tonight. I did not have any plans of doing anything at all tonight.
Did you bring condoms?
I never noticed how much he mumbles and like stumbles on his words, but the whole, hey, I know I said all of that stuff, right? But then I was gonna, you know, I was not gonna do any of those things. It's such an interesting thing, because almost every single Predator that has been on this show, including Takedown, has said that. Like, I've been watching a lot more Takedown lately, and like at a certain point I was just thinking, like, man, like, genuinely, does it really seem that every single guy that shows up just never wanted to do anything like that? Like, it's such an interesting idea. I mean, obviously they're lying, but I forgot exactly what the idea that I had in mind was, but I know that it was just like they get hit with like a certain amount of amnesia, or like, I've kind of said this before, where it's like, for some reason they have a moral compass the moment they enter the house. Like, even if nobody was there, they would have been like a upstanding citizen and would have been like, oh, you know what, you're too young for this, I'm not doing this, I'm just here to hang out. Obviously that's what you say after you get caught. You know, that was never going to actually happen, and I know you guys know that, but it's just something that I think about sometimes whenever they say that.
Different things that I shouldn't have been talking about.
Give me an example.
Okay, all of a sudden, you know, you're just that much of a loner that you need like just somebody to talk to in person. I don't know.
And why would you ask that question of a 15-year-old girl?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I really did not have any plans of doing anything tonight. I did not have any plans of doing anything at all tonight.
Did you bring condoms?
No, sir. I have condoms in my car at all.
You had, well, then, so you did bring condoms.
Yes, but I did not buy them.
So the answer to that question would be what?
Yes, sir.
You brought condoms.
Yes, but they are for my. I mean, I have them for safety.
For what?
For safety, as opposed to what? As opposed to defense, right? Oh, correct.
Yes, sir.
You brought condoms.
Yes, but they are for my. I mean, I have them for safety.
For what?
For safety purposes.
For airbags in the car in case you get in a crash?
Exactly, for airbags in the car. No, it's for if I run into a girl that I'm gonna have sex with, you know.
Then you say, so do you ever masturbate?
Oh my God.
To 15-year-old girl? What positions have you tried? Hang on one second.
I completely forgot how uncomfortable he gets with his chat log. Like, oh my God. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? You know, I've had some viewers in the comments say that if someone read their chat logs, or like, you know, their conversations with their wives, you know, where they have these type of conversations, they would also be very embarrassed. And I mean, it's like triple the amount of embarrassment when you get caught doing something so incredibly wrong. Like, you could, I mean, I'm gonna say you could justify it being with your wife, but I mean, that's like a given. You know, obviously you find your significant other attractive, so like, that's not an issue. It's like, what? You're gonna make fun of me for wanting to blank? My wife's blank, like, that doesn't make any sense. But when it comes to it being someone who's not of age and it's like illegal, immoral, all this stuff, boy oh boy is it a lot more embarrassing.
Then you say, so do you ever masturbate?
Dennis Coulson starts pacing.
To 15-year-old girl? What positions have you tried?
I'm a dummy.
Hang on one second.
I'm just expressing myself. I'm not doing anything wrong.
What positions have you tried?
Oh God, I'm an idiot.
You know how to ride? You like doggy?
You like doggy?
And then you ask.
And then you...
Oh God, stop. Okay.
Just one more.
I understand what you're saying.
You say...
Oh God. Just one more. Oh man, Chris is a troll. He really is, and I really love him for it, because it's like, yes, you kind of... It's kind of like a shaming thing. We all know that shaming, somebody has been like a thing since like the caveman days. Like, it's been such a old-timey thing to do, right? People would be, put in like those little like wooden things, to just stand there, with their heads in that little hole, like in the wood, for like days on end. That would be for shame and stuff. Like, that's such a common thing, and definitely it applies here. And boy, oh boy, does it work.
And then you ask.
Oh God, stop. Okay.
Just one more. One more. You say, you ask if you delete all those IMs when you're done. I'd hate to have your mom get nosy. I think it finally hits him that.
Yeah. It really did.
My God, I'm caught here. There's no way out of this now.
He's dead.
And he's pacing and calling himself stupid and questioning why he did it.
Just put this down and just explain to me what's going to happen to me tonight. I'm going to jail. That's what I'm asking.
I am not in charge of whether or not you go to jail.
But there is something I am in charge of. Oh man, that would have been such a good
jail. That's what I'm asking.
I am not in charge of whether or not you go to jail, but here's what I can tell you. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, you told me Dennis Coulson.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, but here's
I love those cartoons.
I can tell you. Scooby-Doo.
You don't have to call me Scooby-Doo, you told me Dennis Coulson.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on guys, men trying to meet teens on the internet. Now, you are obviously free to walk out of this house, but if there's anything else you'd like to tell us about what went on here tonight and what you did on the internet, we'd like to hear it.
It was stupid. I'm a stupid man. I do apologize.
We all know that. To tell something we don't know, Coulson.
Stupid. I'm a stupid man. I do apologize. It's a very stupid thing for me to do, but I really did have no plans of doing anything tonight at all.
He's such a... I can't even understand what he's saying. Like, yes, I have one headphone in, but boy, oh boy, does he mumble. My God.
Thing for me to do, but I really did have no plans of doing anything tonight at all. I just want to hang out. That's it. I know something. I had no plans.
The Harris County Sheriff's Department was set up in like a playroom or game room next to our house. By the time he got ready to go, the Harris County Sheriff's Department and the rest of the task force agents were in position to make the arrest.
On the ground! Get down on the ground now! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Don't take me to jail. Please, God, don't take me to jail.
Come up to your knees. Thank you. What's up, man? How you doing? Doing pretty good?
Oh, let me just say something, okay? This is probably one of the most cringiest shit I've seen in To Catch a Predator, and it was him trying to act cool and stuff and be like, oh, you like filming people in their worst. Brother, you put yourself in this situation. It's not like this guy was hired to just follow you around in your day-to-day or something. Like, you got caught doing a crime.
What's up, man? How you doing? Doing pretty good?
Doing pretty good?
I just can't talk, huh? Yeah, just sit there with a straight face. It'll be hard sometimes. Filming people in this situation, you want to laugh. You gotta get a little giggle off sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta get your little giggle off sometimes. Yeah, I'm a cool guy, by the way.
I know you're just sitting there laughing inside.
I also would be laughing. I could also just imagine, like, the the cameraman is, like, the most stoic, like, 50-year-old man who's never, like, he hasn't smiled since he was, like, 10. And he's like, oh, I know you want to laugh sometimes, and it's just, like, a very stoic, serious, cold, like, stone-faced man. Like, it would be a funny thought. Like, no, this guy probably hasn't had the feeling of laughing or giggling in like 50 years, you know, like that type of situation.
Hey kids, don't up.
Hey kids, don't. Oh my god, he's so cringe. Hey kids, by the way, I'm surprised he just go, hey kids, I want to touch ya, by the way. Yo, come to my house, right? I want to touch ya. Because of what? Oh, hey kids, don't try this at home. Oh, don't get me started. Is he not just the most annoying guy? Like, this isn't the Dennis Coulson show, okay? You're not, like, I don't know, doing a vlog or something. You're being arrested and convicted of being essentially a predator, a whole monster. And he was like, hey kids, don't try this at home.
Kids, don't up. It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. Don't try to have sex with a child. Like,
Hamburger, help him, man.
The Dennis Coulson
show. Idea. Hamburger, help him, man.
Why is he such a stutterer, man? Help him, man. Goodness gracious, like, it's not even. Is it a natural stutter? I don't think so. I just think he's just.
Hamburger, help him, man.
Oh man, Denis Coulson was convicted of criminal attempt to commit child molestation, criminal attempt to commit sodomy, possession of marijuana. He was sentenced to 4 years in jail with 17 years of probation and a $1,000 fine. And we will do whatever. Anyway, on to the Denis Coulson TCAP wiki, right? Also, I think the reason why I'm sick is because I had like the air blasting at like, 1,000 miles per hour. When I was going to bed, like whenever I was starting to like feel sleepy and stuff, I was like, it really feels like there's like 50 fans going on in my room. I should maybe lower them. But then I kind of got lazy and didn't want to get up. And then also, somebody's going to be like, Ludi, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my godforsaken life, right? How dare you be sick, man? It's either a video today or a video in like 5 more days, And at a certain point, I was like, you know what? All the people, because that one video, the Nickelodeon Predator, people were like, man, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my life. How dare you yawn? Trying to entertain you, like entertain us, and recording and editing and uploading a video in like less than 3 hours. How dare you? Like, okay, I'm sorry, but anyway, I was thinking about not uploading Jack because of those people, but then I realized there's only a couple of dum-dums that watch my videos apparently don't care about me. Hey, but by the way, I'm not just a damn picture online. I'm a person. But anyway, I'll probably get flagged for coughing. Like, oh my god, how dare I, cough while I'm sick? But anyway, that's besides the point. Like, I went on a little bit of a rant. I got bullied for that shit, which I don't really care that much, to be honest. It sounds like I do. Honestly, I do care a lot because it's like, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Like, my goodness. Anyway, the majority of my audience, though, I love y'all. Y'all care about me so much, except those couple of PP heads. But anyway, and I don't know how y'all feel about getting excluded. Know that I hate you. Know that I don't like you at all. But anyway, Denis Coulson. You don't have to call me Scooby Doo. You can call me Denis Coulson. Denis passive aggressively responding to Chris Hansen, talking to him as if his screen name was his real name. Denis Joseph Coulson is a suspected predator that was involved in the Fortson, Georgia edition of To Catch a Predator. He is best known for his screen name Scooby Doo at I thought that was ATL 01. Really? I said at 101. Whatever. I don't know. As well as his mental breakdown during his interview, interrogation, and booking process. Denis Coulson. His aliases is DJ, Scooby-Doo, ATL01. He's an electrician. He's unmarried. He was born 1982. He was born in Georgia, United States. He's male. He's 6'2", which is pretty tall. 270 pounds. His eye color is blue and his hair color is brown. So, now on to his chat. Denis, a 23-year-old electrician at the time of the sting, began chatting with the girl he believed to be a 15-year-old named Izzy. Even upon knowing the girl's age, he expressed his desire to have sexual contact with the girl, saying things like, "I'd be all over you like white on rice." Okay. If he were younger and continuously complimenting the girl on her looks, He also keeps trying to dig into her sexual life, trying to find out about her former boyfriends and her sexual experience. He promises her that if they have sex, she will learn new tricks because he switches positions a lot, and also introduces the possibility of having anal sex. After chatting for 4 days, Coulson and the decoy make a date to meet at the Sting house. Denis travels 90 minutes from Atlanta to the Sting house in Fortson. When Emily Bix, the decoy, poses as a teenage girl, she criticizes how long it took him to show up, and he responds by blaming her for offering wrong directions. Denis compliments the Rasta design of the curtains as she hides behind them to get clothes out of the dryer, bringing out Chris Hansen from the very same curtains. Denis asks Chris right away who he is, asking why he drove such a long distance. Denis said he did it out of boredom and just wanted to hang out. He confesses having discussed matters with graphic sexual content, such as asking the girl if she was a virgin. After that, Denis apologizes and says he wouldn't have had sex with the girl. When Chris questioned if he had any condoms, Denis also admitted to having some in the car. After Denis says he has them for safety purposes, Chris questions if they were used for airbags in the car in case he got into an accident. Denis explains angrily it was for him to utilize if he came across a girl he wanted to have sex with. Chris starts to read parts of Denis' chat logs, causing him to get agitated. Denis begins to pace the kitchen, referring to himself as an idiot and dumb. Chris continues to read from the chat log as Denis begs him to stop. Chris disregards him and carries on reading. When Chris reveals he is working for Dayline NBC, Denis called himself a stupid man and reiterated his assertion that he didn't intend to have sex with the girl. Arrest and aftermath. The police arrest after leaving the house, as he is being brought into custody. He saws and begs not to be jailed. When the police check his car, they discover marijuana, condoms, and directions to the Sting house home. Denis maintains a cheerful though concerned demeanor while being processed. Denis laughs and says he used his get out of jail free card while waiting to be questioned. Denis is shown a copy of the detective's chat logs when he is brought in for questioning. Denis acknowledges that he should not have spoken to a child in such a way. After the police questioned him about why he kept having sexual chats with the girl, he described himself as I guess R word, and claimed to be bored as shit. Denis, embarrassed by being read back what he typed to someone he believed to be a minor, elects to end the interview. He looks at the cameraman, saying he knew they were laughing at him for getting caught. Denis looks at the camera while getting his fingerprints taken. Hey kids, don't fuck up. It's a bad idea. When Denis changes into his black and white stripped prison scrubs, he exclaims, "Hamburger helper man." Denis likely meant to say hamburglar. Yeah, I thought so. But the hamburger helper man, like the glove, the big ass glove that's like in the little... as hamburger helper man does not wear any striped clothing while the hamburglar does. Stephen Hiles, a defense lawyer for Denis, claimed that his client got numerous unwanted phone calls and online communications that made him want to go to Harris County and meet Chris Hansen. What? According to Hiles, perverted justice had a financial motive to recruit such men for a sting. Denis made a feeble attempt to suicide after taking a lot of sleep medication later on during his trial. However, he managed to survive. Pulled a Vincent Ambrosio there. Denis was found guilty on one count of criminal attempt to commit child molestation, criminal attempt to commit sodomy, and possession of marijuana. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison with a minimum of 4 years to serve, 6 years of probation, and a registration as a sex offender. Denis was paroled and released from prison in April 29, 2009. Sorry. 2024 update. Coulson was arrested yet again on a DUI and reckless driving charge in Georgia. Coulson would bail out the same day and faced up to $2,000 in fines and would take these charges to trial. In September of the same year, Coulson took a plea deal and would only pay $500 in fines and be ordered to take defensive driving courses. In November 2024, a YouTuber user would obtain and post the arrest officer's body-worn camera footage of the incident to the platform. Surprisingly, Coulson is much more well-spoken than he was in his 2006 arrest, speaking much clearer without stuttering, immediately telling the officer that he had made made the illegal maneuver because he was late getting to a client for his electrician job. Humorously, Coulson wore a purple open-face ski mask during the encounter, leading the comments to compare him to Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story franchise. Notably, while the officer searched his Toyota Tacoma, packaging for mushroom gummies, hazy shrooms can be seen in his passenger floorboard. Much like he did with the police during the sting, he cracks jokes with the officer while waiting for his friend to come retrieve his truck for him, and seemingly enjoyed the rock music the officer had playing in his cruiser during the drive to the station. Coulson, okay, now we're in trivia, by the way. Coulson shares the same first and last name by a rugby union player from Ireland. In especially dark irony, the rugby player was convicted in 2024 of gang rape he participated in that took place in 2017. What the hell? A false rumor spread that Coulson made a video in 2020 complaining about his inability to get the one girl he wants in his life, mentioning that he is still a virgin at 37 years old. While the likeness is eerily striking and the ages would match up, this is not Denis in the video, rather a man named Jason Lundgren. For unknown reasons, Coulson does not appear in the Georgia Sex Offender Registry. It is believed he either successfully petitioned to be removed or somehow had his registry information made private. Although, according to a friend of his who has interacted with the TCAP community and flopped to Denis's defense, he is no longer required to register in the state of Georgia, but the state of Georgia. Before his arrest in 2024, some theorized he changed his name or moved out of state, which he apparently didn't. That's kind of it for Denis Coulson, right? A crazy man. But anyway, yeah. Wowzers. The Denis Coulson definitely wasn't innocent through this. Free my guy, you know. What is wrong with me? What the hell is wrong? Dislike. I can't believe I did that. Creep. Oh god, please stop reading the chat. Chris, hold on, just one more. LMFAO, this is great. Yeah, that was a fantastic part where Chris just kept reading. The decoys wigs took more from the budget than the mommy and daddy decoys fees. What made you get in a car? Chris Hansen. I love that. Anyway, that'll be it for this, but not before I read off the subscribers, or the members. Anyway, we have Courtney, still going strong, still my number one. Goodman Ace, by the way, Courtney, you're a fantastic person, by the way. They've also donated, and sent money. It's all very, very appreciated, Goodman Ace, the GOAT, right? The card. Struzel Flusen, which I've been told is fine, so that's good. Thanks for being a member. Will Redding, a great man. I need to get back to his messages though. Alice Guess, still don't know. That's what you'll be, Alice. Okay, I'm sorry. Zanzibar. Okay, he wanted, or they wanted to be part of the members list, and here you are. Just you decided to show up. Boba McFredridge, fantastic. I finally got the reference last video, right? It's like a Boba Fett mask, or at least I think that's who it is. I'm not super duper big on Star Wars. I like it, but I've never seen too much of it. Lil Tits, shout out to your small breast, I guess. I don't really know what else I should say about that. Sorry. Susan Lang, thank you for being a member. Still. You're still surprised me to this day, right? And oh crap, Kara Kelly, right? Shout out to you. Last but not least, showing back up again, right? Obviously it's not needed. You guys do already a lot more than you should, for the most part. But yeah, thank you to all my beautiful members. Yeah, it was a great watch, and I guess that's where we'll leave it. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully the next couple of days I start picking up on my upload schedule. I just legit genuinely, honest to God, have not felt that great. Like, I usually edit at night, you know? I edit, like, very late at night. And for the most part, I feel too ill to want to get up and, like, sit, you know, at my desk and edit and stuff. Like, it's just been this whole process where I just feel pretty sick. I genuinely think I've gotten myself sick 3 times. Like, at a certain point, I was feeling fantastic. And then I drank from, like, something that was probably contaminated by me. And got sick again. And then last night, with all, like, the coldness and, like, all of that stuff, probably got myself ill for, like, a couple more days. And I'm just like, my goodness, my poor vessel that I, you know, own. You know, my poor body is just suffering. But anyway, I'll leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, being so supportive. Except those people that made fun of me for yawning and not reading well. You know, I still hate y'all, but it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, that'll be it. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye. Right, enjoy yourself. Enjoy your day.